Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Joanna if you've never been here before, and I'm turning 26. Before we get any further into the video, if you want to wish me a happy birthday, why don't you go ahead and click that subscribe button right down below so that you guys can see my videos in the future. I'm 25 right now when I'm filming this. My birthday is imminently approaching, and I thought that it would be really fun to talk about some of the things that I learned or did or experienced when I was 25. When I was turning 25, a couple of my best friends who were older than me said 25 was the best year. You're gonna love being 25. And then a couple weeks later, lockdown happened, and then my birthday happened a couple months later, and it was just not what I thought 25 would be. And 26 is a year, like the age of 26, when I was younger, I thought everything would fall into place when I was 26. 26, I feel like is going to be a great year for me, but yeah, before we get into that, let's talk about the things that I did and learned when I was 25. The first thing that I really committed to when I was 25 was learning to make bread. So at the beginning of the pandemic, everyone was making bread. I had no interest in it. I love to bake. I love to bake so much. But for some reason, even though I'm a great baker, I will give myself that, I was not very good with yeast and anything that required proofing yeast or, instant yeast versus active yeast versus fresh yeast. I was just like, I don't have time for this. And obviously in the last year, that's all that I had was time. So I got really good at making bread, really good at working with yeast. I love it. It's very relaxing. It feels like you've really made something substantial and hearty at the end, and I have loved it so much. The second big thing that I did when I was 25 was look for a job. So I graduated from law school last year, and it was a really bad year to enter a new job market. And I also had a really specific idea of what I wanted to do. And what I learned this last year was that amongst, a sea of uncertainty, it was really worth it for me to hold out and go after exactly what I wanted. Against all advice that I was getting from, my school and, like career counselors who really push you to just take a job for the sake of taking a job, I really wanted to start my career on the foot that I wanted to and go exactly into what I wanted. And 25 involved a lot of waiting, a lot of applying, a lot of, pushing for something that I really dreamed of and wanted. And it happened to work out in my favor. So that was something that at 25, I really learned that if you have a dream career, then you should really shoot for it and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. At 25, I also learned that dressing for myself was a little bit different than I thought. I'm the kind of person that likes to put together. I like putting together outfits. I like to plan outfits. I will say I tend to be a little simpler than I think the typical person is who says that they are like really into clothing and whatever. But I also learned that when I'm at home, I really love looking cute for myself while also being comfortable, and that's why in the last year, I wore exclusively matching sweatsuits. Like, I know a lot of people say that they do that, but my collection of matching sweatsuits has only grown since I filmed this video about all of my matching sweatsuits, and I'm not mad about it. And I'm pretty sure that for the rest of my life, I may be embracing matching sweatsuits whenever I'm at home. They are my constant. They make me feel good, and they look so put together, but they're also so comfortable. But I feel really good in a matching sweatsuit, and that's how I dress for myself, apparently. Speaking of that, the next thing that I learned is that I don't want to put on makeup every day, apparently. I do want to put on makeup when I'm seeing people, but the amount of makeup that I put on has definitely changed, and the way that I approach makeup has changed. And I don't know going forward if I'm going to be putting on a full face of foundation every day. I love concealer. I will every single day put on eyebrows because that really changes the game. But, I don't know if I'm gonna contour every day. I don't think that I'm gonna put on foundation every day anymore. And for a really long time, like if I was going like weekdays, I would have on a full face of makeup. I love it. I may go back to it. I don't know. But when I'm doing makeup for myself, like the things that really make me feel good, I learned are brows, mascara, concealer, and maybe a little bit of blush. The next thing that I learned around the time that I was turning 25, and I have continued it since turning 25, and I will continue it into my 26th year of life, is my fitness goals and tracking my fitness goals. I have been someone who really loves exercise and working out and being physically fit. And when I was 23, 24, I started tracking my fitness. And when I was 25, I had already hit my first year goal and I was within my second year. So I want to talk about it now. And I think I'm going to do a whole video on it. But basically in 2020, I tracked all of the days that I exercised, and I set a goal for myself to not skip more than 2 days of doing some sort of physical activity. It was so rewarding every time that I was filling in this bubble to see that I was working towards a bigger goal, doing something for myself, holding myself accountable. And so in 2021, you know, while I was 25, I decided I'm gonna double down on it. I'm gonna keep it going. I have the same goal for myself, just to uphold working out, trying to work out as much as possible, but not taking more than 2 days off of getting physical. When I was 25, I tried gardening for the first time, like fully gardening from the beginning of the season to the end. My family loves to have some sort of plants situation growing in the backyard, normally tomato plants. Last year, because we were all home, my family really wanted to grow more plants, and I kind of took the lead on it, and it was very difficult. I dealt with lots of bugs that I didn't realize were like that much of a problem. I had zucchini plants that were flourishing, and then halfway through I learned that there are specific cucumber variant worms that will eat through your cucumbers or zucchini plants as they're growing. They're disgusting. And yeah, I also dealt with like chipmunks stealing my cherry tomatoes. It was a very stressful time. I swore I would never do it again. And then I bought a ton more plants. So I guess when I'm 26, I will still be gardening. Another thing that I got really good at the age of 25 was cleaning and like refurbishing things. When I was stuck at home, I learned that I really thrive with projects, and one project was just like cleaning the house, making like things that looked a little bit dingy fresh again, painting walls, refinishing furniture, scrubbing down like moldings, like the trim work in a house. And honestly, a lot of it was because I found this Instagram page called Go Clean Co. And it was life-changing. I mean, the amount of like satisfaction that you get seeing something go from dirty to clean is great. I love it. And if you guys ever need inspiration to clean, follow Go Clean Co. Another thing that I learned when I was 25, again because of COVID, was that if I could learn to do something myself, I don't want to pay someone else to do it for me. For example, making my coffee. I love how I make coffee. I don't really need to go pay someone $4 to make my coffee. I already kind of knew that one, but another area that it went into was I got really good at testing new recipes. I feel really satisfied cooking my own food. I think it tastes better when you cook it yourself because you feel like you've put in the work for it. And so I don't have that much drive to go and pay someone $25 for a pasta dish that I could make myself for like $6. So learning to cook and learning to like do things yourself, I'm hoping that it'll save me a lot of money in the future. And I'm really glad that I learned that at 25. I wish I had learned it earlier, because when I was 16, I spent an embarrassing amount of money at Starbucks. Today is not a good example of this, but at 25, I finally learned how to embrace my naturally curly hair, how to get like great curls after years of straightening my hair, curling my hair, you know, just damaging my hair over and over again on a constant basis. I found like how to get amazing curls. I have very curly hair, I always have, and for the longest time I was just really embarrassed about it. If you want to see my curly hair video where I show you guys how I get amazing curly hair, in my opinion, then go and watch that here. But it was really great at 25 to finally learn how to embrace my natural hair. And the last thing that I learned at 25 is that the simple things like in my day-to-day life are the things that really bring me the most joy. And by that I mean, in this last year of not being able to go places, the things that I missed the most were going to the supermarket and getting to just like shop around and touch things, going to the mall and like getting to talk to people, getting to shop and feel things laid out. I missed being able to run errands and go into Target and go to the gym and, you know, just seeing people that I wasn't necessarily friends with, but that I felt like I knew because I was seeing them so constantly. Like the people who worked at my gym, I loved them and I loved chatting with them all the time. And those little interactions are things that bring my life so much joy. I'm getting emotional. At 25, I really learned to not take for granted the time that you have with people and the little things in life that make you so happy. And yeah, I mean, I think going forward, I'm so glad that I learned that lesson now. I can't believe that I'm getting choked up in a silly little video like this. Yeah, I mean, I think it's so important to realize, you know, amongst everything that you do in your life, that there are things that bring you happiness, that there are people who do, and you can take out a lot of life, and you can take out a lot of things in your life and still be really happy with just those core things. And I've really learned to embrace that this last year and to take joy in the little pleasures in life, in the pleasures that you can bring yourself, in the pleasures that don't come from external things. And yeah, I think that was really great. So in many ways, my friends were wrong that 25 was not going to be the best year of my life. But I also learned so much about myself and, you know, was reminded of how fleeting things are and how much in my life that I loved, but also how much in my life I could grow from not having. Does that make sense? I hope it does. So yeah, that is my 25th year of life. I'm so excited to be 26. Little me would be surprised at where I am, but also super proud and super excited. So that is what I have. I will see you guys in my next video, and until next time, bye. And if you guys want to see some of my other videos, you can go ahead and click on those here or click on my face to subscribe.